Can the Insta360 Luna Ultra shoot movies? Yes, it can, with some caveat. So let's get into it right now.
I'm almost done.
You said that 43 minutes ago.
You keeping score now?
Someone has to care whether you eat dinner.
So for those of you who don't know, my name is Dave. I am a filmmaker, amongst other things. I've been using the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 for over 2 years now. And that's my go-to camera because it is so convenient. The only issue that I've had with it is that it only has one lens and it's a wide angle lens. So you're limited to just that look, that wide angle look, which sometimes doesn't even look that cinematic. So I've always thought they should add a second or third lens, because if the iPhone has 3 lenses, surely they can add more lenses to these cameras. And they did with the DJI Osmo Pocket 4P. But you can't get those in the States, so the Insta360 Luna Ultra answered that call. And so now we have this camera now. I'm gonna tell you why this camera is great for filming movies and the issues that I have with it while I was shooting my short film, which should be playing on the screen right now, so you guys can see the work that I was able to do with this camera, okay? So let's get into it. I even brought my notes, so we're gonna try to stay on topic, okay? Because I don't wanna get derailed too much. So let's get into it. So the number one issue that I've always complained about was the lack of focal length, and this camera solved that because it has 2 lenses. It has a 20mm wide angle lens, and it has a 60mm zoom lens, and you can zoom in between those ranges all the way up to a 12x. You're not gonna go to 12x because the 12x zoom is just cropping into the image and it looks like crap. So you'll probably go to your limit is 6x if you want good quality. You pretty much have a 24 to 70mm camera in your pocket at all times. So that's really great. You get some great subject and background separation. You can get all kinds of cool shots that you would usually get with a telephoto lens. You can get that done with this camera. So that's point number 1 for why you should definitely use it to shoot movies. Point number 2 is that you get iLog now. That's right, you get a true log profile with the Insta360 Luna Ultra, which means that you get great dynamic range. Dynamic range is what allows you to have details in your shadows and details in your highlights. So this camera, the iLog is so phenomenal that I use my Sony FX30 LUTs with iLog and they just work. So now I'm thinking, is this a small little Sony pocket camera? Something to think about. So, because the iLog is great dynamic range, great colors, the 2 lenses looks phenomenal. Of course, there's gonna be some shift when you're switching to the 20mm and the 60. It changes colors and also the perspective because the lenses are positioned side by side. You need to take that into consideration when you're filming and setting up your shot. So now, those 2 things alone make it a great pocket camera to be filming movies with, right? Amongst other features, it has a removable screen. I'm not usually filming myself that much. I did not use the removable screen that much, but it is great to have, especially if you're having some difficult shots and you need to put the camera low or somewhere that you can't reach it. You can monitor it with the screen that's on the camera. You just pop it off and then you can just control everything with it. So that feature alone, the 2 lenses and the iLog, those 3 features, definitely worth getting. The image quality is great. I don't care what nobody says about the 4P and the D-Log 2 and the D-Log. They're comparable because I've downloaded footage from the Pocket 4P and compared it with this footage, they are close, man. They're like, I don't know, like 95, 97%. Like, you're fine, okay? You are definitely fine with it. So now let's get to the caveats, okay? So there's no exposure assist on this camera. There's no exposure assist. There's no histogram. There's no false colors. There's not even like a color assist where you just get to see the image in Rec 709. Never mind letting you load your own LUT. None of those things are present. So you're stuck looking at log footage that is flat, that has no contrast and no colors. You don't know what your exposure is like. I thought I could eyeball it and I failed miserably. But thank God for iLog, I was able to bring it back in post. So that can be fixed with a firmware update. So I'll be waiting for that. The second caveat is that it has a small screen. So I know it's a pocket camera, so I'm not gonna bash it too much for having a small screen. But when you're setting up your shots, when you're composing your shots, it is hard to see what's in your background. You might be missing something on the floor, some people in the reflection, like what happened in my short film. I showed up in the reflection and I didn't even know that I was in the reflection. And then I had other people on set who were showing up in the reflection and I couldn't even tell that they were showing up in the reflection. So, but that's cool. The screen is so small that when I was shooting, I thought that I was missing focus. I was like, wait, am I missing focus? I'm like, oh my God, if I'm missing focus right now, this whole movie is screwed. But thank God I did not miss focus. So that was great. The size and the image, so great that, you know what, I'm not gonna complain about having a small screen. If you want to use your phone to monitor, you can do that. So that's an easy fix. But of course, plugging in your phone wirelessly is always a pain with those type of cameras. So I just use the small screen. That's fine. The other issue, which all these issues can be fixed with the software update, but that one, there's no grid. You don't have that 3x3 grid that usually helps you line up your shot. And I'm wondering why. Why didn't they put that in a camera? Like, those are basic things. Any camera, if you pick up a camera, you will have those grids. You have like the 2.35 grids, you have the 3x3 grid. Like, you have so many things to assist you with your framing. I don't know why they had to rush it so much that they couldn't put those things in there. But it's okay. They can make it up to me by updating the software. And the last thing is, which is not really the fault of this camera, you don't have good audio input. You can connect the Bluetooth wireless mics. I only had the cheap ones, the Insta360 minis. The quality is okay, but they were rubbing on the clothes, so there was a bunch of noise, so I had to fix a lot of the audio issues in post. That's why the audio for the short film sounds so weird.
You talk like you practice.
You flirt like you're rusty.
Married men usually are.
But this is a pocket camera. This is not a cinema camera, so you're not supposed to be plugging in audio equipment into it. If you're filming a movie, you're gonna have sound people on set who have their own boom mics, they have their own mixers and all the equipment that they need. So that shouldn't be an issue for using this camera. If you want to use the Bluetooth mics and put a lavalier and make sure it's somewhere that's not getting rubbed on, you can definitely do that. That's probably what I'm gonna do for my next films so that I can have better audio. But long story short, this camera is definitely great to shoot movies, short films. Music videos is the next thing that I'm gonna attempt with this camera. I've done it multiple times with the Osmo Pocket 3. I'm sure this will be no problems. If you wanna look up some reviews on the Insta360 Luna Ultra, you can find some of the issues that people are reporting. It seems like they just have bad quality control right now, because those issues that these people were having, I'm not having so far with this camera. But I'm pretty sure if I continue to use it, some things will pop up. But for now, the answer to the question, can you shoot short films, movies, and music videos with the Luna Ultra? The answer is yes. So if you don't believe me, just watch my latest short film. And yeah. So if you guys want to keep up with my filmmaking journey, you can subscribe to this channel. If you have any questions or you want to know more about this camera, let me know. Or any other cameras that I use, because the links are in the description. Just let me know, and then I'll try my best to answer. Just kidding, I answer all your questions. I read every comments and I will answer. So if you're thinking about getting the Insta360 Luna Ultra to shoot movies, you should definitely consider it. I think it gets the job done. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'm out. Deuces.